Yeah, I mean, I think going forward, in the future, this is going to end up being, something like how we view creationism now. Or I think a better analogy is, smoking and tobacco products. How for the longest time they said it wasn't harmful, it didn't cause cancer, and all that kind of stuff. And we look back now, and obviously, people were just the tobacco industry was just covering up for it. And I think that's going to be, the politician you were talking about earlier, the guy that brought in the snowball and said, "Oh, global warming isn't real." That was James Inhofe, and he's a well-known climate denier, and he's probably in the pocket of big oil and all that. And actually, one of the big scientists that climate deniers appeal to, including Inhofe, was I think his name is Wei-Hock Soon, and they recently I think it was Greenpeace, but somebody released a bunch of documents, essentially shedding light on the fact that this scientist, who's kind of like the go-to guy for climate deniers, has been taking money, like well over $1 million from ExxonMobil, from the American Petroleum Institute, from the Koch Foundation. So I mean, that just goes to demonstrate kind of what people have been suspecting all along, is that these very few scientists that are actually out there saying that climate change isn't real are actually in the pocket of energy companies who are just trying to protect their own interests and their profits and things of that nature. Because the simple fact is that, whatever you want to call it, global warming, climate change, it's real, it's happening. So regardless of the debate of what impact humans are having, we have the data to demonstrate that the Earth is warming overall, or that the climate is shifting. And to that point, people that like to deny this phenomenon that's occurring, they say, "Oh, well, you changed it from global warming to climate change to change your story and all that." It's not true. The reason that we call it climate change now is because it's a better descriptor. It better describes what's happening. Because global warming, people think like, "Oh, well, the entire planet's warming up equally everywhere," but that's not the case. What it is, some places might be getting warmer, but other places might be getting colder. And so basically, actually a better term is climate displacement, because basically what you have is climates are shifting from one place to another. And another thing that's predicted by climate change is that you're going to have warming oceans and more acidic oceans, and then you're going to have, due to warming oceans, more moisture in the atmosphere, and you're going to have these bigger precipitation events, so bigger snowstorms, bigger rainstorms, things of that nature. Or it's going to shift, so places that maybe were drier before are going to get a lot of moisture, and places that used to maybe get a lot maybe won't get so much. So, it's this whole idea of this displacement of the climate. Sorry. And then so climate is basically, weather, which is something that's happening right now presently, is basically weather, but over a long period of time in a certain area. That's what climate is. So people oftentimes also confuse weather with climate. So saying that, hey, it still snows in the winter, that just proves climate change. That's simply inaccurate and foolish to say that. I guess another thing I wanted to point out is that, it's happening. So, if humans are having any sort of impact on it, which the overwhelming majority of scientists say, and you can put whatever number you want, 97% of climatologists say that humans are having an impact. Whether we're entirely responsible for the climate shift, or we're just having an additive impact to maybe what the Earth would be doing naturally, maybe we're just exacerbating it. Either way, humans are having an impact. You can't just put that much carbon in the atmosphere that's been sequestered for millions of years in fossil fuels and things of that nature, all the stuff we put into the atmosphere, and then not expect the atmosphere and the Earth to warm. It's the whole greenhouse effect and all that. So it is happening. And so if there's anything we're contributing to that, if there's anything we can do about it, we should be, because this is the only planet we have to live on. So that's why it's so important. And if we are having this impact, then the damage that we've done already, even if we were to stop and start making changes now, the damage we've done already is going to be long lasting, and that impact is going to be going on for a while. And that's why we need to start addressing it. This is not. There are not any climatologists out there becoming millionaires off of government grants to do this research. There's not some grand conspiracy. If there is a conspiracy, it's on the other side. It's the energy companies trying to cast doubt on the actual science and what's going on to try to protect their interests. Oh, this helium balloon is floating up to the atmosphere, therefore gravity doesn't exist.